Welcome to SIM-PAC Live. Today we're on site at Powertech in Adelaide, in Mawson Lakes, and we're looking at a machine called Foodie. I want to introduce you to Dr. Jayant Keskar, and he's one of the inventors of this machine and this technology, and he's going to tell us what it does, because it's quite unique in what it can do. It's quite specific in what it can do, but it's really cool. Now, tell us what Foodie is and how it works.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Jeff. So Foodie is basically like a system which will convert all the food waste, whatever organic material that you have in it, convert into the compost-like material in just 24 hours. So this is a very fast, very efficient, very quiet sort of system which will eliminate all the waste transportation, or the generation of the odor and other sort of material, that you have stored in for a long time. That will be totally eliminated. No odor, no leachate, no flies, and the material that you have, the food waste, that get converted into the compost-like material that you can use it in the garden. So this is a perfect example of achieving the circular economy.
Yes.
Yep.
So this would be on site at, say, hotels or shopping malls, restaurants. I would imagine
food
industry, old people's homes, remote places.
That is really
so
good.
Instead of storing food waste, which attracts rodents and is a problem in itself, and transporting that in diesel trucks to a landfill of some sort, this would reduce it 90% volume, so down to a little bit of compost-like material in just 24 hours instead of usually 6 weeks.
So what happens in this system is, we had developed some thermophilic bacteria. They grow at 50-degree temperature.
Yes.
And as you rightly mentioned, this will be really good thing for the remote locations wherein they are literally transport the food waste or organic waste, about 200 to 800 kilometers. I was talking to one of the mining company, and they said they are transporting somewhere about 600 kilometers away, whatever that food waste they generate. So which is like, they are generating greenhouse gas emissions by consuming the diesel. First one. Second one, they are also, generating, when that lot of waste goes to landfill, they generate methane from there. So there's this sort of double greenhouse gas emissions that they get will be totally zero from that.
Right, so this produces no methane.
No methane.
Because it's aerobic process.
This is an aerobic process. And because this
and that means the bacteria, eat it or act in it.
They eat all that organic material, and then because these bacteria are thermophilic, they grow at specifically 50 to 60 degree temperature. That will accelerate the process of composting as well.
Right, and so, the methane is quite important, because methane is a very bad greenhouse gas.
Very true.
And when it goes, so if you put your food into usual food waste or even your own compost, is that it's emitting methane,
it still generates
which is
some amount of methane.
5 or 10 times worse than CO2, something like that.
It's 28 times more.
28 times, 28 times worse than CO2. And this means there's no methane on it. What you get out is a compost-like material. And that you can then, it's quite intensive, so you would usually blend it down or put it amongst soil or something?
We had done extensive experiment on the output that we get in here. So what we found is, if you're using it as such, because it is highly concentrated in the nutrients, that may be problematic for the plants. So what we normally advise is, you can mix in certain ratios with the soil, like 1:5 or 1:10 ratio, and then use it into the garden. If you are able to maturate it, like, typical compost need maturation. So if you maturate it, like keep it for a couple of weeks there, depending on what sort of input you have, feedstock you have, then you can use it directly as well. So what we found is, particularly the leafy vegetables, like, you get very good growth, when you are applying this type of, soil type, in the soil. So we call it as a soil conditioner, like compost-like material. It's not a compost, by definition. But this is definitely good, which will be good for the environment, good for the end user, good for the community. And then, as I said, like, there are a lot of different areas that we have tested it. So as an example, like, we have tested for the bread industry. We had tested their dough, we have tested the grains that they come out of it. We have tested, whatever that other material. We have tested for the microbrewery as well, like the grain that they get in.
Yeah.
And in fact, like, we are very happy to say that one of the microbreweries are customers.
Yes.
And they are very, very happy with that.
Yes.
Because their main problem was during the summertime, they get so nasty odor there, like, they get the complaint from the neighbors and other stuff. So that is totally eliminated because they were storing for 1 week.
Yes.
The truck comes after 1 week and pick it up.
Yeah.
Similar things like, they found that when they put it into the, in their system, in their factory, that was totally eliminated, and they are now buying a bigger size of machine from us as well.
Yes.
So that is.
So
that
yes,
is like
I know we've got a machine running just behind us, right, which we'll have a look at. But I know there's no odors coming from there. There's almost noise. It's just gentle little hum.
Correct.
And it's quite low energy consumption.
Very low energy consumption. Like typically for the small unit, we get somewhere about 15 to 25 units a day, depending on again what sort of moisture content you have into the waste, which is like hardly $6 to $8 a day, like power cost.
Right.
So we got that automation done here at the Powertech Energy, which will ensure that the temperature is constantly maintained between that 50 to 60 degrees as well.
Right.
And at the same time, it was fully automated. Safety things are being incorporated very properly.
Yeah.
Like if someone opens the door, then that mixing will automatically stop, so that no one can put the hand in there.
Yeah.
Similarly, I'll show you that when you take the material out, we had put the grage over there, so no one can put the hand in there.
Yeah.
So all those safety measures like electrical and hazards thing has been taken care of.
You've got to make it so kitchen hands can use it. So
any layman can use it. And this is another beauty of this technology, that you do not need to have a technical background to operate the system.
Right.
Unlike other technologies wherein you need to have the idea about opening the wall, maintaining the temperature, pressure and the stuff. This is very simple. You just open the door, push the button on, put the waste material, push the button and forget it.
And the bacteria that you put in there, you buy that from you. Is it very expensive?
Yeah, it is not at all expensive. Like, we supply the bacteria along with the machine initially.
Yeah.
Usually it is not required to add the bacteria, but what we recommend is you should add once in a while, like once in a month, once in a quarter. Yeah. Because what we found is in one of the client like that we have, they had the food waste coming from the restaurant. Yeah. And typically they had most of the time, like they get some oily waste type of thing. And if there is a lot of oil going on, then that will cover the bacteria and the activity will be.
And I would imagine like the breweries and the bakeries are very single source as well.
Single source,
Yes,
correct.
and so so that would affect the bacteria and what you get out of it. Now the smaller unit, it produces. You can take about 25 kilos a day.
Smallest unit is 25 kilo a day. Then we have 100 kilo as we are standing in front of 100 kilo unit. Yeah. And then we have 500 kilo or one ton, like 1,000
1
kilo
ton
a day.
Yeah. And this one's got a feeder on the top.
Yeah.
And this is for like crushing bones.
Crushing bones, Basically, like if the restaurants had got the bones and big bones, particularly like fish bones can take care by themselves, like the small machine. There's no need to have any grinder stuff. Yeah. But for the big bones, definitely you need to have the crusher or grinder.
And so any organic material, so that's protein, carbohydrate,
anything can go. Yeah.
Now also, you said this includes bioplastic in plastic bags.
So that is interesting thing. Like we had tested different type of nowadays all the plastic bags are being banned, and now the government is pushing the bioplastic, which is better from the plant material. Yes. And most of the stuff is available in the supermarket as well. Yeah. So we have tested different type of bioplastic bags that are available in the market. Yes. And we found that those available in the supermarket may get about 3 to 5 days completely gone in this machine. Yes. But there is one specific product from Sydney called company called Copar, and that is gone in 24 hours. Yeah. So that particular bioplastic is very, very efficient in our machine. So those sort of biocompostable bags are available nowadays. Yes. And then again, what we recommend to the client is, you can put the waste material into the bag, compostable bag like Copar, and then just dump it into the machine. There is no need to take the plastic bag out.
No need to empty the food in.
Empty the food and everything. Like it is very straightforward thing.
And you also said that, and people at home are worrying because they're hearing about microplastics in our environment. Yeah. you said that when the plastic bag goes through the foodie
Correct.
and is digested by the bacteria,
Yeah.
that there's no microplastics
There's
left.
there's no microplastic from these sort of plastic bag
These
that
sort
we
of
had
plastic
used,
bags, yes.
And we have tested extensively into the universities as well, like laboratories.
Yeah.
So they gave us a report like there is no any microplastics specifically when you use this specific bag.
Yes.
So that's why like it is not harming the environment at all.
No.
Yeah, not at
I
all.
think
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's fantastic.
And we also get different NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus,
Yeah.
potassium, and other stuff.
Yeah.
When you get that material converted into that
Yeah.
compost-like material.
So quickly to sum up, that this machine take all your organic waste,
Correct.
Proteins, carbohydrates,
Yep.
plants.
Correct.
It'll save on disposable on cost because it
Correct.
reduces the volume
Very true.
hugely.
Yeah.
And all that transportation and fossil fuels.
Yep.
And then also you've got the methane emissions that you would usually have to account for.
Correct.
It is all gone.
Correct.
And what you get out of it is a compost-like material that you can use in your gardens or even on site,
or veggie patch or anything like that.
A veggie patch or everything like that.
For example, aged care homes, they can use that back into the veggie patch.
Back into the
thing. Yeah.
Yes,
Correct.
yes,
Correct, yeah.
and councils and
council can use it in their own gardens.
Yeah,
We recently got with the Salisbury Council here.
Yes.
So they are very happy to put it demonstration into another shopping complex.
Yeah.
So
and I can see at shopping centres particularly because a lot of them have severe rodent problems.
Correct.
Because having food around, having multiple restaurants
Correct,
just tipping food out in all sorts of haphazard way.
Yeah.
Not saying that they're all, but you can imagine that you're not in control of that situation.
Yeah.
And it's sitting around,
Yep.
and you've suddenly got a rat problem.
Very true.
And so eliminates that as well.
That problem, then odor problem is big. Now
The
temperature
odor
is
problem.
much less, but
Yeah.
you can imagine when it is summer and all the food waste is sitting in a big bin, like
Oh yes,
200 kilo bin.
the alleyways behind a restaurant are not
so
somewhere
like-
you want to have an apartment.
Yeah, someone is going there
and
and,
that's another thing. So it could be installed. I mean, it may be that because the apartment, but in a city living,
Correct.
you're living backed up to the back
Very
of restaurants and things.
Yep.
This may be a way to increase the satisfaction of people living in
Very
those
true. Yep.
downtown areas.
Correct.
So fantastic.
Yeah.
Well done. And and you've got orders, and you've got some out in the real world.
Yep.
You're really
we got,
looking to try and gain traction.
Definitely, like we put up the machines in Sydney. Like we are going to put it in Victoria. So we have a couple of machines here in South Australia as well.
Yeah.
And as I said, like there are different sectors or the areas, that we are talking currently.
Yeah.
And which are very, very unique. No one will think like, oh, they have the problem, but they said, oh, this is really a good solution for us.
Yes. And look, as a society and as for sustainable industrial manufacturing, we need to be solving all these problems.
Very true. Yeah.
And and those hidden emissions that you don't think of, hugely transporting food waste 600 or 800 kilometres. And those issues, we've got to think of them all. So well done. Thank you very much.
So
Thank you for your time.
Yeah. So this basically help the organization to decarbonize.
Yes.
To achieve circular economy.
Yeah.
To achieve resource recovery.
Yeah.
And as I say, you can think of any area, any sector where they are generating food waste, even the airports.
Yes.
Even the GAN rail as well. They transport a lot of people.
All of the army
even
bases,
the ships and army
bases,
and defense
ships.
and everything. You name it, and this could be really good because it is very compact, very easy, easy to operate, and you can get about 90% reduction in the volume state of it. So that's the thing. I think definitely this is a good tool to decarbonize the industry sectors as well.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.